down when you least expect it. But part of living the American dream is being able to get back up, to rise up from the ashes when everything's trying to hold you down. That's part of the American dream. It's not always going to be easy. And divorce is one of those things that none of us ever aspire for. None of us ever think, when I grow up, I want to get married and get divorced 5 times. I seriously doubt that's anybody's goal. I know it certainly wasn't my goal. So please do understand that when I talk about the American dream, I'm not saying if you're a divorcee, you're not living the American dream. If your kids aren't with you, you're not living the American dream. If you're not making 60 grand a year or more, you're not living the American dream, because that's not what it's about. The American dream is very different for every single person out there. It's different for me, as I'm sure it's going to be different for all of you watching. So, that said, how do we live the American dream after divorce? There's a million things that I wish I could tell you, but I want to try to keep this video short. So I'm going to share with you just 4 things that I've taken away from my experiences after my own divorce that I hope can help you, not just for your own divorce, but maybe you know a friend who's divorced or a family member who's divorced or going through divorce. So I think this is something that's beneficial for everybody out there. So the first thing is, when you're going through divorce, you should seek help. I will tell you, when I first separated, when my ex and I first separated, I got moved to Japan. She stayed here in the States with our son, and I got moved to Japan. I'm in the military. They said, boom, go. And that was very hard, having my son away from me, my ex. It was basically like my whole life changed in the blink of an eye. And there were times where things just felt so overwhelming, just so hard. I felt so alone, so desperate, that I would sit in my room, sit on my couch, and just cry. And that's not something I generally share with people, but I tell you because I want you to understand that that's how real things get. That's how hard things get. And I'm not somebody who generally cries. It's not part of my culture, being a Marine. It's definitely not, something Marines do. So it felt unnatural, but it was necessary. And I had to go through that, and it helped me process those emotions. But I knew that I needed to seek help. So another thing that I did is I spoke to a counselor. We had a counselor on base who helped people dealing with family issues, and I would go talk to her once a week. I did that for, I think, about 6 months or so. And she would give me advice and tips on things, and I would just vent to her about, called my son yesterday and he wouldn't answer, whatever the case may be. I also made a couple friends that I'm still friends with today that were huge help to me at that time, that I was able to confide in. And the great thing about having good friends is that they're not going to judge you. They're going to listen, and they're going to give you advice when you need it, and just basically help you through those tough times. So for me, that was huge. The friends that I had, and the counselor, and just basically getting to a point where I understood I can't do this alone. I'm not somebody who generally seeks help. I like to think I can do things on my own. But I had to accept this is not one of those times. I need help. I need somebody to help me get through this tough time. So that's the first thing I want you to remember, is sometimes you got to seek help. The second thing that I'll tell you that helped me get through tough times is find something that makes you happy. So for me, while I was in Japan, I got into scuba diving. I had never done scuba diving before. I got into woodworking. I had done woodworking before, but never as much. I rode my motorcycle a lot. I've always been into riding motorcycles, but I was doing it a lot there. Exercising was a very regular part of my routine, riding bicycles and running all over the island. So there was a lot of things that I got into that I used to try to fill up my free time. So I would have less time sitting at home, feeling alone, feeling depressed. Now, I don't want you to think that I'm telling you should try to escape your problems or try to escape your negative emotions, because that's not going to be healthy in the long run. You've got to deal with the pain. You've got to confront the pain. As hard as that may be, you've got to confront the pain. So if you need to cry, cry. If you need to go talk to a counselor, a chaplain, a friend, a family member, whoever, go talk to them. You've got to deal with those emotions. What I don't want you to do, or what I suggest you don't do, is dwell in those negative emotions all the time. So I don't want you to get off work, go to your house, and cry every single day for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years on end. You've got to make time for yourself to make yourself happy. Again, whether that's hobbies, hanging out with friends, vacations, maybe you're into painting, whatever you like doing, do that. Do that. Do it for you.
Thanks, Blessing. Guess you kind of get the gist there. The guy went through a divorce. I want to ask a question after hearing that to the guys. Have you guys ever gone through a breakup and it's made you feel like that guy felt?
I'd be capping if I say I didn't. Speak closer,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I'd be capping if I say I didn't. That feeling that it's almost because you know you can't get it back, and it's the frustration of not being able to hold things down. You end up getting overwhelmed where you feel like you're gonna explode, and there's no other way to explode. So the waterfalls might end up running. But yeah, I've definitely felt very similar. Obviously not the same level because this is a more deeper situation, but basic level. Yeah, I skimmed some of that.
Mr. Aberrant preach.
Mr. Elephant in the room.
That's what I'm saying. Like, anyway.
No, go on. Have you been through a breakup like that and made you feel like that?
Yeah, of course. That's how I know what to do. Like, I'm telling you, look, what to do when you get a breakup. I said that time ago. Listen, go in a room, cry in front of, like, cry by yourself. Don't do it in front of someone. Like, get it out. Like, in terms of just like emotionally, get it out. That's worked for me. Because like, if I got all the crying out, there was no more crying. Do you know what I mean? There's a certain time when you look at and look at yourself in the mirror when you're crying as well. You get over it quick, bro. I remember I had a mad breakup, and I was singing Nanko, Lucky You. Lucky you, you got some woman to go home to. I gotta find me myself a woman. But yeah, I was crying, bawling, all like dribble coming down and that. And I looked at myself in the mirror. Bro, I was like, what? What you doing, bro?
Who the fuck is that?
Yeah, bro, like, what you doing, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's not you, bruv. You know what I'm saying? You get girl. It's like, not be start talking to yourself. Nah, but she's the one. Nah, she's not the one, bro. What are you talking about? Like, you have that conversation with yourself. And I advise men to, you know, if you got guys around you as well, they'll help you get through it. You know what I'm saying? Especially PE guys, you know, the man them be like, yo, can we go out and, you know, forget about her right now. No, but I want to call her. Nah, forget about her. Don't call her. Like that, you know what I'm saying? Like that. Some real guys.
Ladies, have you ever had a man cry to you? Like beg you? Like cry to you and beg you? Like,
Yeah.
how did that make you feel? Go on, pal.
Go ahead, speak. I've never had that.
You've never had that?
I've had guys like cry in front of me, but not beg me to stay. Not cry and be like, please, baby, please. No.
Go on, pal. Tell your story.
Go ahead.
No, I did that. Yeah, that's happened to me.
Did it make you look at him any differently?
Oh, this is gonna make me look bad.
No, but it's no. It's fine to be real.
It's not really attractive to have a guy like crying and begging for you to come back. You know what I mean? Like, women don't want a man that needs you, as you know, that probably doesn't make me look the best.
Yeah.
But I'm just being honest. Like, we don't want a guy that falls apart if we're not in their life. Like, we want a guy that's fine without us, and we know we can like depend on. So if you're like crying and begging for us back, it's like it's not attractive to us typically.
Tell that to the guy that's balling, innit? Like, you know, like, you feel like your whole life is gone. Like,
hang on, I want to hear from the ladies. Has that ever happened to you? Have you ever had a guy
Yeah, I actually kind of liked it. I don't know. I thought it was. I thought it showed like strength that, you know, he could show emotion to me, and obviously not like begging me, but like crying and being like, you know, I actually love you. Like, you know, I want to make this work. Like, and he got tears in his eyes, and I kind of liked it. Yeah.
Did you get back with him?
No, but
She didn't get my like with him, but she liked
Yeah,
it.
at least I don't cat.
that's like a whole.
She was like, "That was a great show. That was a fantastic show." Agnes, did you? Have you had a guy do that?
Well, nobody begged, but like I'm an empath, so I feel the people's emotions. So, you know, if the guy cries, I cry, you know, so it's like come and cry all together because, you know, I like all the people, and that's the thing. It doesn't matter breakup or not. Like, they all awesome people, and all the guys, they awesome people. And everybody cry, everybody has the same emotions as women, you know, and we all share the same things and so many different things. And, you know, everybody's inspiring and everybody's like unique, you know.
You think guys have the same emotions as women?
In the long run, deep down, yeah, we all have the same emotions. It just like depends, like some emotions is like hidden, some emotions more active, some emotions like we can show. Usually we keep our poker face, you know, when we don't want to show any emotions.
You don't think women are more emotional than men by and large?
I do.
Visibly emotional. I think we get deep. We don't, we don't express it enough.
Do you know why I think guys cry like that, or it affects guys so much? Because I think guys love idealistically, and I think women love opportunistically.
Elaborate on that.
I think women love you based on the opportunity to love you, and they're always looking for a better opportunity to love somebody else. Hence the monkey branching, hence the reason why when the divorces happen, you know, she's got someone just there. Whereas guys love idealistically. When they fall in love, they're like, this is it. Done. This is me for the rest of my life. I'm going to live all my years out, and this is just going to be me. And I think it affects guys psychologically more so than it does women.
Well, that's what they say about women, that they wait at the finish line and fuck the winners.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate, but it's true. I mean, if the number one reason for divorce, or one of the number one reasons, is financial, we can't act like that's not true.
Yeah.
And like just being honest, how long are you gonna, if a dude loses his job, how long are you staying? How long is he not working? But a girl could lose her job and he's gonna support her.
100%.
Where it's like, I mean, you know, you could, and even men, they'll stay with a fat chick too.
I have a question for the men. If you're in a situation where you, like both y'all working, your wife or girlfriend, whatever the situation is, and you end up losing your job, would you feel demasculated, or would you feel weird having a woman provide for you until you were able to?
Yeah, standardly, like one, that's a pride thing, but two, it's also been instilled. Like mum always made it be known, like, yo, don't let no one do for you that way. They can't say nothing and throw it in your face when they do get emotional, feel some type of way. So in that sense, like, yeah.
Do you know, I actually learned the hard way with that. It's very interesting. A few years back when I was, in a relationship, I was a sole provider for the relationship and the family. And I got laid off of my job, and I was actually, I didn't have a job for like 3 months. And I specifically remember always being the breadwinner of any relationship that I've been in. And I'd been like with this woman for like 6 years, and it had been 3 months. And the switch in her attitude within that 3 months really surprised me.
Now all of a sudden she can't cope, it's too much.
I was just like, I've been providing in 6 years, like, just chill the fuck out. Do you know what I mean? It's like you're acting like I'm some fucking bum or some shit. Don't worry, I'll get another job. But it's like, oh, but we need this, and you're supposed to be doing this. And I was like, wow, it's only been fucking 3 months. And that's when I realized, you know what? Yeah, women are very interesting creatures.
Do you know? I think it kind of plays into. I think when girls are like in a relationship, I think they watch other girls in relationships. And like compare their relationship to that other relationship.
Not seeing the bads in that relationship.
Of course not, because that girl's not going to show you that. Do you know what I mean? So that image, I'll say, like, girls are like, oh, Sierra Russell Wilson. They're like, they all want that, but they never show you what's their bad issues until they break up, and then they'll be like, oh, what did he do to her? What did she do? Do you know what I mean? But all the time now, it's, I want to be like that relationship. I want to have that relationship. Probably you got that relationship, but you left it.
Well, I hear what you're saying. Women look at all of these, you know, Beyonce and Jay-Z's and Rihanna's and whoever's they're with and do relationship goals, yeah, well, and all that kind of stuff. It's all women like idolizing relationships, and it's like one of the reasons why relationships break down is because women are looking at other people's relationships, expecting it to be like that. Then when they get there, it's like, well, Rihanna did this with A$AP Rocky.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
He's not taking me on trips. He's not buying me.
He didn't buy me 1,000 roses.
How dare he?
No, I think more it's more simpy than that.
Go on.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you know how certain times, like, you know, say treat them mean, keep them keen will be like some people's mantra, like how they do their things. And then that girl, she wants to be with the guy that she thinks is gonna be like the Russell Wilson. So he's supposed to be nice, tall, attractive, have bare gal, but still be like Prince Charming. Don't step out wrong. Don't say anything wrong.
Russell Wilson's a simp, though. Let's be honest.
No, but even if he was a simp, like I can't really say he's a simp if he's got bare money.
No, of course you can. He's simping for Sierra.
No, not necessarily.
Sierra is currently twerking on the top of cars, bro.
That's a lack of respect that she has for him.
Right.
And that's a lack of...
and so he's simping because he's accepting that.
Right.
Wait, what's the definition of you lot for simping then?
All right. First of all, look, Sierra was a single mother when he got with her, right? Future's baby. She's got one of the most notorious, like
Modern day pimps.
the modern day like pimps babies, right? And she's gone from him to Russell Wilson, some nice clean cut dude, like, and you're taking care of the pimp's baby. Listen, the reason why I'm saying it because I've been there. Do you get what I'm saying? Like I've taken care of another man's child. Do you get what I'm saying? So I know what it's like to be like, you know what? Like, there's no benefit here.
Were you simping?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
No, but I'm saying
Like the thing is, like
that's different type of money.
No, but hindsight is 20/20. This is the thing. Like I believe like you've got to learn from your life, the things that you experience in life, and it's like, yeah, of course. I think every man's been a simp for a woman at some point.
Do you think Russell Wilson could afford to pay for Sierra's child?
Of course he can.
And not even think about it.
Yeah, but
that's what I mean when I say the difference between simping.
But the problem is his time. His time is super valuable, and he has to spend time emotionally investing in the kid.
Right.
Like that's, if anything, you could argue he spends more because his time is worth so much.
Yeah, but that's Sierra though. Like, what are we talking about? We're not talking about a normal baby.
But Sierra,
we're not talking about we're not talking about a normal future baby mom. We're talking about Sierra, who's a musician. She's also got her own money. She's also out there. So we're not saying I'm not comparing it as to. That's my whole point. Where girls are comparing themselves to Sierra and Russell Wilson, like they got their type of money. They could afford to live nice and cushy, but when
fair enough.
You know what I'm trying to say? It's not the same when you in your little 9-to-5 job working for Tesco and you're like, no, I want that kind of relationship.
It doesn't matter in some of these women's eyes whether they're working at the corner shop or they're working at Tesla dealership making like great money. Doesn't matter. They see these celebrities, they see these famous people doing X, Y, Z, and they're like, if my man's not doing that for me, I don't want it. And that's just how it's like came about nowadays. And it's just in society. If he's not paying for this, paying for that, I saw a video and it was like, if a man's not paying for my hair, which is like $1,000 a month, my nails $500 plus this, that, and the third, is like, no, he can't be with me. And it's like, well, what are you doing? Can you afford all that right now?
I am the table.
I have a question for the ladies. How much would you say your submission costs?
What do you mean submission?
Actually, my first question, so would